Hi, and welcome to Love's Child. Today, our topic will be what we call Who Gave It. On today's issue, we're going to discuss entertainment things of entertainment nature, from basketball. Oh, you like that? You just, I'm geek. We're going to talk about things of entertainment nature. So Tariq, who is our entertainment specialist, if you will, is going to lead the conversation. But one of the things I want to first say before we even get started with what Toddy, I'm not used to saying Tariq. As I said,
okay, get up there.
I'm an old man. I'm trying to tell the people. So as I said, before Tariq begins with his top 10 of who's hot, who's not, and all the in between, I want to first say that entertainment, I appreciate it. Definitely, I'm definitely a supporter of the arts. I love acting. I used to act some years ago. I love singing. God hasn't blessed me with a voice yet, but wait a minute, you ain't mad at that?
Right, 2 thumbs up.
Tariq, you agreeing with that?
You don't have to,
You know, I'm going to tell you all what I've been telling them all evening is the good book says, he that is not for you must be against you.
in a good way.
So, I want to say this. I love the arts. I really do. I love the physical arts, like a painter or an artist in that regard. I also love music and film. All various forms of creativity. I'm a creative person myself, and so I appreciate creativity. I'm not, though, however, really into like some of the things that encompasses entertainment. So, like for instance, Tariq and I were talking about a week or so ago about, maybe it's 2 weeks ago, about Kim Kardashian. I'm not really, I don't see what the hoop is about. I think she's a pretty girl. I think she has a beautiful shape from what I've seen. I know that all of this stemmed from, which is my point, stemmed from her video with this, when I say this celebrity, this popularity, all of that stemmed from her video with Ray J.
Sex tape.
Her sex tape.
And it was a horrible porn, by the way.
And I'm like, so what we're doing is we're making these persons our, I don't want to say leaders, but these are the persons who we subscribe to. We run and buy this magazine, that magazine, we listen to this entertainment show, that entertainment show, and the person's roots are in pornography. And I'm not knocking pornography. I'm not myself a pornographic watcher or reader or whatever. I don't watch the videos.
You don't watch porn?
I don't. I never have. It doesn't do anything for me. I need to see, the person has to be right here in my face. I'm just trying to tell you what God loves. You love the truth. But I'm telling you, oh, wait a minute. So I haven't seen, I'm not a fan of, let me say this, I have to clarify this. I'm not a fan of so I don't watch porn tapes, as you know, like the traditional sex tapes and all that kind of stuff. Well, no, not even that. But what I have seen is I've seen naked pictures of people. I'm gonna say people. So I guess that is pornography. They don't do anything for you, though.
Not at all. A picture can't do nothing. You can send it to my phone, and I'm like, oh, that's nice.
Not anymore. You're married.
Oh, well, don't send it now, but
I said it. I said your pet name.
my hat all right.
So that's my thing. I'm as again, I support the arts, but like entertainment, this day and age, in the sense that I guess I'm talking about popular entertainment, it just doesn't appeal to me. But I've been keeping up with it, particularly.
Really fashion though.
Oh, thank you, boo. I do what I can for the people. That's what Exaby used to say. So I appreciate that. I do what I can. Look at V. Or David. This is David, but I call him V. Look at David in his ensemble. No, don't put it on me. That's somebody else's logo.
Miss Kardashian is hot with you.
Yeah, that's her calling this fella. So without further ado, we're going to begin this entertainment segment, and Tidy's going to take it away.
Oh, before we get to like the who gave it at the top 10 of 2011, I'd like to ask you guys, like, as far as like, I actually separate. What's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie of 2011 or
2011 period. Like,
for all
what's your-
time. I think my favorite movie of all time is Mildred Pierce. I'm a huge no,
That's not bad.
no, it's not. It's Joan Crawford. I'm a huge Joan Crawford fan. Huge Lana Turner fan. I like when women gave you glamour, ermine hats and mink wraps and diamonds and jewels.
Hollywood era, the golden era.
Yes, the golden era of Hollywood. I am in there. And Joan Crawford's Mildred Pierce, followed by Lana Turner in Imitation of Life.
What about Judy Garland?
Oh God!
I love Judy Garland.
I enjoy
I knew he was
her.
going to say that.
I enjoy her. And I think perhaps in terms of modern actresses, I think there are very few skilled actresses. But I certainly think Meryl Streep, obviously.
She is phenomenal.
She is. And I love Uma Thurman and the real pretty girl. She was in Monster.
Charlize Theron.
Charlize Theron.
She's great.
Yeah, she is everything.
Yeah, because I'm sorry, not to interrupt you, but to interrupt you, I love it. As I said, I used to act. In fact, Tariq and I used to act at our the university that we attended together. And what I really appreciate is an actor who is able. An actor who is able to transform themselves. So when you see the person, you don't see the individual person, but you see the character that they're representing. I love it. Charlize Theron, as you said, she definitely did that in what was it? Monster. And I know a few other actors. Ironically, Robin Williams is another one of those kind of actors.
The comedians tend to make very good.
because usually they have the craziest lives.
Is that right?
Usually background.
Monique in Precious.
Oh yeah.
God, I needed some some Lexapro or something after Monique.
What's your favorite TV show? Of all time, this year, new, old, but if you just got to watch a little box, what is it?
I'm going outside of the box. My favorite channel is ESPN.
Yes,
A gay man who says ESPN is his favorite show.
I love ESPN
around
as well.
two brothers who actually got mad at me for attending their game.
I'm sorry. You like what though?
I grew up with two brothers actually got mad if I didn't attend one of their games when we were in middle school and high school, so I had to be there. I walked. I asked friends to come along with me just so they wouldn't be mad when we got.
Wow.
Now I'm gonna say this.
So I had to learn sports, and when I learned, I loved it.
I'm gonna say this. I learned this some years and years ago about David. Is that his cousin? He and his cousin and I were good friends, best friends as well. And he told me years and years ago that as much a lady as David is, he could play some mean basketball. So is that true?
Which is true. I had a gay friend back in my hometown in Florida. It was he and I. We would pick any two guys in the Civic Center where we played basketball at Community Center rather, and we would beat them every time.
Is that right?
And they would argue and fight amongst themselves because we beat them.
Right.
It was
Can you
amazing.
imagine that? Now you all know how the world is, especially regarding homosexuals, and that straight men are supposed to be better than homosexuals in every way, except particularly regarding the sports. So to have, was the other guy gay too?
Gay.
As hell.
Leon is his name.
So to have two gay dudes beat you at basketball, or supposedly predominantly heterosexual sport, got to be something ugly. But
And who's your favorite singer?
oh baby. Now I know this is not popular. I know it's not popular. Well, no, that's not true. There are still a lot of people who love her, and I don't want to give you all this thing, but I'm just saying I love Whitney Houston. I have always appreciated Whitney. I really do. I know that her voice is not what it used to be back in the day. but I know life, I understand the hardships that we go through, and I understand without having to be, or having been, I should say, a celebrity, I understand the pressures that she faced. And she too, like Tariq and I, is a Leo. And so I know that, I know how our mentality, I know we feel like, can't nobody tell us what to do, or we do what we want to do. And so I think it was like one of the things, and I'm sorry, so I'm not going to say that. I was about to digress, and this is Tariq's segment, so I'm not going to say that. But so to answer your question rather, Whitney Houston is my all-time favorite. I think I'm not saying that there's no other person who has a talent that's comparable to hers. I recognize a lot of wonderful singers. I love Anita Baker. I love Patti LaBelle. I love Natalie Cole. I love primarily female singers, but I love Johnny Gill and Luther Vandross and other persons. But Whitney Houston, to me, she encompasses so much, or encompassed so much during her day. She had a wonderful voice, a wonderful range, a beautiful voice, and she had a poise and a confidence about herself that I think other people saw and felt. So she's my favorite.
I guess we just dive into today's segment of who gave it in 2011. So, without further ado, number 10, Beyonce Baby's Bump. Now, the reason why Beyonce coming in number 10, she released the album this year. The album went platinum. No hit singles. People weren't really feeling Run the World Girl thing. But her Baby Bump broke Twitter record as being the most talked about subject in Twitter history. And also she premiered a baby bump on the VMAs. And as you well know, it's a fake bump, a real bump. She's really pregnant, she having twins, she's not having twins. I mean, J-Lo had a baby, Christina Aguilera had a baby, all these singers, Halle Berry had a baby, all Drew Baby, all these people have babies, but Beyonce is the first one we just really get into her having a fake baby bump and all of this, so.
Now that's just the sin before God and man.
What are you about to say? Because I need to say something, but go ahead. What are you saying?
I find it absolutely ludicrous that people are obsessed about this woman's belly and her bump, and is it fake? And in the interim, honey, they being evicted out of their homes. In the interim, right. The unemployment rate is freaking through the roof. Yeah. And you're concerned about a woman who can clearly feed the bump, right? The bump's bump. I mean, oh my gosh. And you and I were talking in the car about Beyonce, and I was saying that I actually like her. I don't know that I'm a fan of Beyonce, but I like the public Beyonce. You never hear about Beyonce having to be poured out of a bar. There are no stories of her cussing out the girl at Neiman Marcus. You never see her in public acting unseemly. When the whole incident happened with Kanye and Taylor Swift, like, she was very gracious in that when she performs, she gives it up. She gives you everything. I have never known anyone who has gone to a Beyonce concert and said they felt cheated. And so I really like how she presents. I really like how she carries herself. Now, I want her to stop acting. I want her to never be in front of a film again, a camera again, unless it's to do a video. But I love her because she comes closest to capturing ladyhood to me. I could do without hearing her speak. I love her for that.
You guys say about me, or David, you say yours, what you have to say
about Beyonce?
Her baby bump. Her baby bump gave it this year.
Yeah, it did. It kind of was getting on my nerves because, what's so important about her being pregnant? Hey, like you said, if she can have it and support it, why is it such a big deal?
Okay, now this is my thing. See, Tariq has said this to me, not so much, well, that's not true. It was about Beyonce's baby bump when it was first released. So how long ago that was, several weeks ago, or a couple months ago. Now this is my thing. Tariq, as I said before, is 26, I'm 38, this guy is 40-ish, and this guy is 40-ish. Now, what was interesting to me, but I know this, I recognize this because I remember when I was his age, is that Todd is living in his moment, and Beyonce is a part of that moment. So all that I just said a little bit ago about Whitney Houston was the case for her during her time as it is for Beyonce during this time, and then was the case for other persons during their time. So like Diana Ross and these other celebrities or whatever. So when Tariq was saying to me about, he didn't finish his thought before he asked Paris the question, and he asked him, well, what he was going to say is that all of these other persons have been in the media and they've had babies and everything, but none of them have received the same, I don't say notoriety, well, I guess it could be notoriety in the sense that Beyonce has received. And my thing is this, is that, and I recognize this because I'm old and gray, is that I remember when Whitney was pregnant with Bobby Christina, when she got pregnant with such a big, her marriage to Bobby Brown, if some of you all who are old and gray like me may remember, it's like a big, big thing, the pop princess of the world, because America always places itself as being the standard for everything and everyone. The pop princess of the world is married bad boy Bobby Brown, and then subsequently she was pregnant. It was a big, big, big thing. Whitney Houston pregnant. She was in the on Bodyguard, and she was pregnant. She was in the video I'm Every Woman, and she was pregnant. It was a big, big thing. So Whitney Houston in the 90s and definitely the 80s, but the early 90s, and as I said, definitely the 80s, was what Beyonce is today. But she didn't have the same mediums, obviously. Twitter wasn't around, Facebook wasn't around, and those ain't around. But as many, many of us know, the woman sold thousands and thousands of albums. Now, regarding the baby bump, I know media, and as I said, I'm not a fan of all of this gossipy stuff and just this senseless talking. I used to tell Tariq many, many times ago, or many years ago, and times I've said this, is that the things about Britney Spears and when she was having this problem with her babies and every time I taking the babies, I thought it was senseless. It's like, I don't care. I'm trying to pay my rent, pay my car note, pay my car insurance, pay my utilities and all that kind of stuff. I don't care about Britney Spears being a good parent or a bad parent. And I felt like really the media, as well as those persons who patronize the tabloids, were being fair to her, because no parent is perfect. First of all, many of us don't come into the world, if not all of us come into the world with a rule book on how to be the perfect parent, and so I feel like we're being unfair. But to get back to Tariq's question, I was unaffected by the Beyonce thing. It just was like nothing to me. I don't know if she's pregnant or if she is not. Hello. Kind of, sort of. So I was unaffected by the Beyonce baby bump. I don't know if she's pregnant or not, and really, honestly, I don't care. You don't know.
We've seen her now at this point, but that's why we say that her baby bump is she gave this year. And she took a negative thing and made it her own. Like, instead of the rumors, she went to the awards and she said, I am pregnant. Instead of and it's going back into, like, this ain't the first. Now, when I said this is 2011, so this is the list for that. Now, is she the only one to get notoriety for the baby bump or being pregnant? I mean, come on now. Princess Diana is probably the biggest pregnant lady in both tabloid records about having a baby. And of course, Whitney Houston and Bobby Christina and Mad TV and everything else that is all around about things, but the new generation, they all have babies, and we really ain't. We don't even know J-Lo. Is Mark Anthony really her? Baby daddy?
Wait a minute.
Now, why would she sleep with him? Mark Anthony is ugly.
Why would you say that?
Mark Anthony is ugly.
Why would you say that?
J-Lo and Mark Anthony, it don't go together.
Why?
Because he is Hispanic and he Latino, so she just had to have authentic Latino baby.
Oh my God!
So she had to go pick the oldest Latino singer that's out that could still be kind of hot and have twins at that with. I'm not buying it.
You are something.
He's not the baby daddy.
You don't know that.
He's not. To Jesus. As soon as the baby's 2 years old, they divorce.
Well, that's the way of the times, period, whether a celebrity or not. Folks make up, break up, all that kind of stuff. You just...
I'm not buying it. Mark Anthony and J-Lo, I mean, is that hot to you? I mean, you think J-Lo should... Mark Anthony, I just think it was staying.
Wait a minute, they may have loved each other. I'm sorry.
Well, I just think for her, she just needed to go back to her roots. She already did the black thing with P. Diddy. She already did the All-American with Ben Affleck and all of them, and so she had to go back to her roots. Why not go and get the most, Mark Anthony is very popular amongst the Latino community. Like, he's the man, he's like legendary in that sense. So she knows what she's doing.
So it's staged.
Very much so.
But that's what I hear they do. And in fact, I'm sorry, on the same subject, last night I was working out at the gym and I was on the treadmill, and they were, in fact, they were talking about the top 10 of 2011 as well, and they were talking about the persons who made a comeback, and one of the persons they mentioned was Britney Spears, and they were saying how she made an awesome comeback, and they were saying how, like, what she does now, everything that she does is strategically planned. Right. Whereas before, apparently, she just think she interviewed with anyone and she all this other kind of stuff. But now she does everything like the way that you say Beyonce does it. Everything is like on point.
That is very calculated.
Well, and that's a good thing because I was tired of her seeing her come out the house like she just fell out of bed, head not combed, it's a disgrace.
So number 9 on our list of who gave it that I decided to put is Eddie Murphy. Now we know Eddie Murphy and had a comeback this year. He's been all in the tabloids, had a successful movie, and was supposed to host the Oscar. Tower Heist, that was a big movie. It was successful.
Who was in that?
I can't remember everybody, but it was successful.
The girl from Precious.
Yeah, she was in there.
And a white guy. Was it Ben Stiller?
Ben Stiller was in there. Yeah, he was in there, but more so, he's just been in headlines. You know, his daughter doing The Dark and Lovely. He's supposed to be hosting the Oscar. She like the face of it. She like the audience. She's very beautiful. You think Eddie Murphy?
I don't use Dark and Lovely.
But you must have watched BET and TV One.
Oh, I don't watch BET.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Oh no.
You don't like it?
No.
Tell me why.
Because I don't watch buffoonery entertainment television. I don't do BET.
They trying to get better though. They have scripted shows. You ain't watched the new Cosby show?
When they get better.
Have you seen the new show with Tracy?
Is it on BET?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
But it's family oriented. It's great acting. It's with Malcolm Jamal Warner and Tracy Ellis Ross.
Yeah.
It's called.
I've seen the ad for that,
and it's very, they trying to come out with better original programming and stuff. They trying to.
Is it 2 something? I know that he said
read
between the lines.
Read between the lines.
Yeah.
And so he said it was a modern day Cosby show. And it is. It's very positive. At the end of every episode is supposed to teach you a lesson and stuff like that.
It's funny that you would say that because, and people are something else. This is what I'm saying. We just always are spewing out. I shouldn't say we because I'm overgeneralizing, but sometimes we spew out this negative energy and vibes and stuff. They were saying that the show wasn't good, and I've only seen 2 episodes, and I was watching something as I was watching it, and both shows that I saw was entertaining to me.
Decent. It ain't over the top, but I don't think the Cosby Show was that great. I'm sorry. I know everybody loved the Cosby Show, but it was all right. It was boring to me. I was bored.
Right?
I just wasn't into it.
So you think it's a generational thing?
Yeah, because he was young.
I was young, and even with but I know people my age that think the Cosby Show is funny. I never laughed at the Cosby Show. Like I want to watch a different world.
Now,
that's my favorite show.
Be mindful that this is the person. Now, I'm not advocating. Although I will say that one of my favorite movies of all time is The Color Purple. Now, Tariq does not like The Color Purple. He likes not Gone with the Wind. What's Judy Garland's movie?
A Star is Born. I love me.
Of which, going back to number 10, Beyonce is in the remake of A Star is Born.
Is that right?
Yeah, which I don't understand.
Single-handedly.
I see.
Barbara Streisand can do a bad version. Let Beyonce. I didn't like that.
Janet Gaynor, Judy Garland, Barbara Streisand, Beyonce.
Well, it's a stretch. Now, I was the first.
We're gonna give it to
I was the first one to say. Now, A Star Is Born is my favorite movie is Jason Lyric, so A Star Is Born is number 2, and Julie Garland, of course, is my old time Hollywood glam actress. So A Star Is Born, I got it on tape, a bootleg tape, DVD. I love the movie. Now, it is a good song. I don't like Barbara Streisand version. I do not like it. So can Beyonce?
Do you like Barbara Streisand as an entertainer?
Yeah, I do. I like a few of her movies, I think she has a nice comedic timing, and then I can understand her legendary status and her singing. I like Barbara Streisand. I just like a rock and roll version of A Star Is Born. It wasn't.
I agree with that.
If it's not Hollywood glam, it takes away from it. So if Beyonce gonna come and try to do this hip hop version of it, I'm not really gonna buy it, and I might support it because it's Beyonce.
I like that.
I'm sure she will though, because all 3 previous A Star Is Born have been relevant to the time in which, because the original was not a musical. She was a movie actress. The lead character, Esther Blodgett, was a movie actress, and her husband was this big actor. Then when they redid it with Judy Garland, it became
because that musical was movie acting. And then
in the 70s, it was this rock and roll thing. So it probably will be.
That's interesting because see, I'm not like how Tariq is regarding Beyonce. I truly appreciate her talent. I recognize that this girl is a hellified entertainer.
Yes. I
don't know, other than possibly Tina Turner, I don't know any other person who could entertain as well as Beyonce could. Her vocals are always on point. Her dance, her videos, her song. I don't think that she's the best vocalist, but she can sing, and then she can bring it each and every time. Her acting is not. I'm very critical of acting, first of all, because like I said, that was part of my discipline. I love acting, I act and all that kind of stuff. But I don't think that she's a great actress, but I think she does, mediocre. I think she does okay to pursue it, to continue doing what she's doing, especially if she's making money from it. And as we all know, money makes the world go round. But I don't know. I'm not a fan. Like when Whitney Houston did Bodyguard, to me, I feel like she played herself. And again, as I said before, if you're playing yourself, that's easy to do. I see true acting ability when you're able to play someone who's completely different from yourself. So when Beyonce is playing popular hip hop or pop star or singer or whatever, she's playing herself, and I feel like that should be very easy for her. That doesn't really register anything.
So I mean, she probably could excel though, because that's what Starborn is usually.
I know that too. I didn't see the original.
Barbara Streisand was basically being who she was at that time, with what's his name, Kurt Russell,
Chris Christopherson.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, I did see pieces of that then. I've seen pieces of that.
I don't even like the original one that much. I do like it, and I understand that this is where it came from, but Judy Garland has the best of stars. And it's long.
I'll give it.
But like what, 3 hours long?
Oh, it's about 3 hours. Remember, I tried to make you watch it.
I know you did.
Rude. But Eddie Murphy. So Eddie Murphy, he turned down the Oscars. A lot of people wanted to do it, remember he was banned from the Oscars when, like, back in the early 90s when he had said the Oscars was racist or something like that. So he hasn't been able to come back to present, definitely not the host. But they chose him again to do it this year. But being Eddie Murphy, he's not going to do it because the producer said some homophobic slur, and he got fired from producing the Oscars this year. So Eddie Murphy decided that he was not going to do it, and it was a big controversy.
And so Billy Crystal is now hosting.
Yeah, just as a safe replacement.
So, let me say this about Eddie Murphy first: is that Eddie Murphy is one of those, like, although he's still relevant, he's one of those unsung heroes. You know how unsung he is on TV One. He's one of those unsung heroes. He's another one who I think has done well in his career. Obviously made millions and millions of dollars. But I think also that he's a very diverse actor. He's one of those kind of person. I'm saying, like, he played all of those characters in the Clumps. That's remarkable to me. When you can do that kind of stuff, do you like him? Tell me about him.
I mean, Dreamgirls. So that resurrected his career a couple years ago. He does everything. What happened to Eddie Murphy done?
What Eddie Murphy hasn't done is dated a dark-skinned woman in his movie and stayed with her.
So a little color
so this one art I have against Eddie Murphy.
Well, if you remember that one movie, and David was actually in that movie, and they dated.
That I didn't watch that.
You were in it, baby.
I think I saw that on Netflix.
I got at the red box.
At the red box.
I thought it was a movie, but it was actually a play.
But as y'all was speaking on Beyonce, I wasn't a big fan of her when she, was getting hot or whatever. But I was in New Orleans one year and they were doing the breakup. The Destiny's Child was doing the breakup, and during the concert, they all came out and did solo. I mean, she was last for whatever reason, but they had this simple stage, and then when she came out to do that one song, it was like, really? Did you have to do all that? But then as I begin to understand her, that's her. She's going to always do stuff over the top. So I was like, I don't understand all the hoopla about her, but I gave her props for doing that. And then as time went by, I began to learn more of the things that they don't speak about Beyonce. And most entertainers or what have you, but her giving back.
Oh, okay.
The different charities that she formed is just unbelievable.
Is that right?
Oh my God.
You know, they don't mention that a lot.
They
about
don't,
the entertainers,
but
period.
it was something I was watching on television one day. I said, okay, now I like her now, because you don't hear about, you know, you hear about all the money they make, and you know, the houses and the way they live and whatever, but they never mention about their giving back. And that's the touchy part of entertainment.
Right. Being a celebrity. You're absolutely
and
right.
that is why I'm not a Tyler Perry fan in terms of Tyler Perry, the
Mogul. Entertainment mogul.
yes, but I absolutely love him for his capacity, one, to never forget that he's black, his willingness to reach back and give other actors, and whatever you think about his work, he's giving people who otherwise would have to fight to get a breadcrumb an opportunity to shine, and he is committed to the community. There was that great grandmother whose home had burned, and he not only rebuilt their home, but he housed them while the house was being rebuilt. Clearly something you don't have to do, and if you didn't do it, nobody would think hard of you. So I think, I agree with that. I think it's important to also try to see the human.
Did you hear about his recent purchase?
The airline. He just bought his own.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Is that right? Oh, is that right?
Ooh, that was
Good for him.
good for him, right?
So they moving right along. Number 8. Everybody loved to hate her, but Kim Kardashian kind of gave it this year. Now, I can't stand Kim Kardashian. I do not watch none of the little reality shows. Them in New York, them in Miami, them getting married. I'm not interested. She's not that beautiful. Well, she is beautiful. I ain't gonna hate. But she just, you look at I was in the store and I seen she was on the cover of every magazine, like every single magazine, and she looked different in each one. I'm like, well, this ain't the same girl. She kind of chubby right here, she looked thinner right there, she looked white right here, she looked Mexican right here, she looked like she could be Alicia Keys with the little mix. So, but her 72-day wedding made her millions and millions of dollars. It got its own special, everything. Her getting married this year has, and still is, the hottest topic, and it's like a media blitz. Like, she owns the tabloids at this point. They're not talking about nobody else but Kim Kardashian.
She is beautiful. She is gorgeous. She is, I would consider crossing the line for her.
Is that right?
Yes, she's just.
That's a lot of crossing.
She is everything. I just
can't stand her.
I want you to have my virginity. I give it to her.
Is that right?
And I've been holding
Your
on to it for 40 years.
heterosexual virginity. What virginity you talking about, baby? Wait a minute.
So you one of these.
Oh, wait a minute.
So you represent who she is. Like this Kardashian clan, this money.
I don't represent who she is because I don't do tabloids. I don't.
The tabloids know people like you exist.
But they aren't looking for people like me. They're looking for people who will make a purchase. I'm not purchasing that.
You're not going to buy it.
I'm not going to
So
buy
you'll give her your virginity.
I don't watch that show. I don't know if it's still on or not. Whatever show she had.
She got about 3 of them.
Is that right?
Kim and Chloe, New York, something in Miami.
I just think she is just aesthetically appealing. Like she is this Armenian goddess.
Wow. So she gives it to you.
She does.
That's a lot.
Right.
You don't come from a gay dude too?
I like Lamar Odom. I like
You heard about them? They got traded.
You know what she bring? You did him?
LA traded him.
Who was that? I don't know who that is.
Lamar Odom.
Chloe's husband.
Oh.
They traded him. He felt like had him do the reality show that they felt like he was overexposed or something like that. And he's been in LA for 12 years. And they traded
It's time to
him.
move on.
Is he good looking or
But
something?
He's not the best looking, but if you watch him in that reality show, you'll be like,
He got a little swag to him.
I like him. He's so humble.
But for him to get involved, I think that did kind of deteriorate who he was as a basketball player, to get involved in the whole Kardashian.
I think that has something to do with it to a certain degree, but they want Dwight Howard and
Who?
Dwight Howard, don't talk about
They
him.
got CP3, Chris Paul, and Kobe Bryant.
did they finally do that today? You know, for certain.
That's today. I've seen it on TV. He's
Because
traded
they
to LA.
blocked.
So that's going to be a dynamic duo. Kobe and Chris Paul. I think
They
it's
didn't
going to be
want
another
that to happen.
championship. I'm a big LA fan. Avid LA fan. Well, everybody hates the Memphis.
They're not always winning.
They have a championship this decade, maybe other two.
That's before
and
our
last decade too, and the decade before that.
No, they're not winning that much. Now, you
The Lakers, they have a dynasty every day.
Chicago had it then.
Well, and not to mention the Celtics
And the
too.
Celtics, that's their biggest competitors. But
And-
I mean,
and also
and
they
San
were-
Antonio was winning. You forget.
I mean,
the
they-
Lakers.
I mean,
Don't give the
they-
Lakers too much.
they get a few, I mean, other teams get a few here and there, but the Lakers.
And the Lakers get a few here and there.
Huh?
I thought you were trying to put your
They're
hand
not the Yankees.
up. You know, my daddy always says that the Yankees are the best team that money can buy.
Yes.
So apparently they pay them high salaries, and they should have the best players. So that's why they win, because they have the best
But
players.
everybody else trying to use that, but they don't always win. There's more to that than just the money.
So you watch baseball too?
So, number 7, Rihanna. Me and you were discussing her today. He got in the car and he was just singing along and bopping. I'm like, you like Rihanna? Oh, this who this is? I'm like, well, you don't know who this is. You get your life off of this album. You didn't know who it was. But, like, with Beyonce dealing with her pregnancy, her marriage, and she's not in the spotlight this year. Well, we got a new black pop princess, and that's Rihanna. I mean, everybody loves Rihanna. Like,
You are so funny.
Everybody loves Rihanna. Why? I don't know. I mean, she's cool.
See, listen to him.
She's cool, but everybody loves her. But she gave me this shit.
Todd, you jealous of anybody who's a competitor for Beyonce. The same thing that he said about Rihanna is what he said about Alicia Keys years ago.
Rihanna's a competitor for Beyonce?
As far as stats, she's actually broke Beyonce's record for the longest, being number 1 the longest. She's tied. And then Madonna, she's tied. She had 11 number 1 singles now. Rihanna is, as far as on the singles, she's all over the place. I mean, she's the Nivea girl.
I like Rihanna. I'm not a huge fan. I think that she got a sexy body. I love her. I don't want to say the lyrics. I guess probably her delivery of the lyrics. I love that. And I like her. Well, I guess the music. You know, you can really feel the music, whether it's a ballad or if it's one of the club tunes or whatever. I like her. You know, I don't want to get beat up after the show or anything. But
I respect Rihanna hustle. Now, I'm not saying. I mean, she can have her time to shine. I mean, I liked Rihanna before she became Rihanna. You know, I've always supported her. I feel like, though, if you're gonna have this kind of success, something should come with it. I mean, you can't sing.
Rihanna can't sing. You know that she can sing?
No, she can't sing live.
You don't think so either?
She has a horn. Yeah, she has a horn.
Can or cannot?
Cannot. She's an
cannot.
avid non-singer.
Is that right? I like the way she sounds.
Well, she sounds nice on a record, but she can't sing it live. Then she definitely ain't gonna give you no dance performance.
No, I heard her live on some award. I mean, not in person, but I mean on some award show, and she didn't sound bad to me. In fact, it was probably one of the first and only award shows that I've ever seen her, which was a couple years ago, and she was sexy as hell.
Well, I mean, a lot of people love her, so, but
Would
she
you
can't,
ask-
I don't think she can dance, I think she can sing, she don't write her music, she's just a Def Jam institution. So, I mean, she gets the bet. I mean, we just talked about it, 6 albums in 6 years. She's never not had an album out since she's been out. Never. She's never taken any time off.
But it's been interesting to watch her evolution.
Yeah,
as a
she's
woman, though.
changed. But she paid for that publicity. They comes up with every album. What you gonna do this album to get people attention?
Well,
I mean,
no,
she's a gimmick.
But I think she has. We have watched her evolve into a woman. When she started on the replay, that was a girl.
How old is she now?
20.
She's in her early 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she was this teenage
She
girl.
a baby.
She only been out 6 years.
Jeez.
And she got 6 albums, but she had the whole catalog of music.
Wow.
It take artists 20 years to come out with 6 albums. And even, modern day artists, at least a decade, or more, she done it in 6 years.
It's impressive. That's impressive.
Well, impressive or, depends on what you consider impressive.
Who gave it? You giving it to me now.
But she gave it. Rihanna continues to have #1 singles, continue to be hot. She's not just an R&B artist, she's definitely a huge pop artist. So she gave it. I guess. Who else gave it?
Hater.
Number 6, going to a little TV. I don't know what y'all watch, but Modern Family.
Yes.
Anybody watch
Sophia Barber.
Yeah. She's hilarious.
She's the living in.
Where does it come on? What station?
NBC. You never watch Modern Family. It's the biggest show out.
It's a wonderful show.
It's so funny.
What time does it come on? What day?
Wednesdays at 9. Yeah. It's a hilarious show. You know the guy from Married with Children, Al Bundy?
Yeah.
He's the father. Then it's about a dysfunctional family. They modern though, because like the daddy had a daughter and a son, and the son is gay. He married a gay guy. Of course, they got a
very
Japanese
gay guy.
baby.
Oh.
And then the wife, she married her husband. They have a dysfunctional 3 kids.
No. Yeah, somebody told me about that. A friend of mine, I think, watches that.
It's really fun. It's
I heard, yeah.
But basically, it's still 3rd season, still on top. Swept the Emmy, best, comedy, best supporting actor, best supporting actress for the parent, the mom and dad. So I think it's a hilarious show.
I'll have to watch it.
It's funny. It's not I like the new shows not without the laugh track. That's my whole thing. But I love those type of shows now where. You know what I'm saying? They flip on a banana. Like,
because it has to stand on its own.
Yeah, they have to be funny, or you're not really gonna be interested. But yeah, so going into the movies, number 5 of who gave this year is Transformers. Anybody watch Transformers? The 3rd one.
The movie?
The movie.
Tell me more about it.
Transformers.
No.
You know the cartoon.
Yes.
Tyrese. What's the Megan Fox?
No.
Shia LaBeouf.
I know the movie. I'm saying, tell me because I remember seeing Transformers. I took my nephew to see Transformers, the most recent one, but I didn't see it myself. So it's pretty good.
You took him and didn't see it.
No, I saw another movie.
You didn't want to see it.
Where was the other movie?
Well, I'm not gonna say that. It's interesting. I've seen it on Redbox. I've seen it when it came out. I didn't go to the movie to see it because it was like the biggest movie and everybody wanted it.
Is that right?
But it was became the 4th movie of all time, and the 9th movie to do $1 billion.
And that's the trilogy. So that's the third one.
Third
Very
one.
good.
Tyrese, that was his year too. Honorable mention, Tyrese had the Transformers, and then what other big movie he had? Fast 5. He was in both of those movies. He had a New York bestseller, then an album. So Tyrese really had a great year too.
Man, let me tell you this. It's so funny that you were saying him. I was going to tell you about, I was going to mention Tyrese. I'm really, really impressed with that dude because when we were at my place and we were getting ready or whatever we were doing, or getting our haircut, Baby Boy was on. And there were some lines, it was when he was delivering a line to his mother and Bing Rames or whatever. And it was, when I say sincere, it was acting, but it was believable. His acting was believable. He was saying like, "You gonna choose him over me?" I felt it. I was like, "Wow, this is really powerful acting." And I'm impressed with his ability. I know that initially he started off as a singer, but I really like what he does. His videos. I will say this, and I know I'm detracting a bit. I'm not crazy about that latest single that he has.
Stay.
Is that what it is?
That song. That song is
hard. Is it the words or is it his vocals?
I like how he's singing it.
Oh man, it sounds like somebody just said, "Okay, sing this, Tyrese," and he said, and this somebody, "Okay, sing this line, sing this," but he just
sound like the Teddy Pendergrass to me on that song.
Sound good on that.
He do.
Y'all fast. That's what y'all fast. That's all it is. Please sing.
That song is hard. Like Tyrese is really. The album wasn't incredible. He had his alter ego. He want to rap, and we're not buying it. Just sing, but Stay was hard.
Yeah. I mean, I like him as a singer. I wasn't crazy about that song. I know that my friend and co-worker her girlfriend was like, y'all gotta listen, y'all gotta listen. I'm like, Tariq song. I'm like, I think I heard it.
Really listen.
I heard it twice. No, I heard it like 3 times.
It may take you about 10 times.
You might be right, because I am like that. I'm one of those persons you have to hear over and over again.
Have you read his book? I haven't read his book.
You got a book too?
It was a New York Times bestseller.
What you say?
I think something about, you know what the whole Steve Harvey thing is, self-help book type of thing. And so I guess that's in right now.
No, you know, not right now, but they say self-help books are like the #1 sellers of books, period. I think I'm the right one.
Yeah, he got a New York Times bestseller. But going into movie number 4, The Last Harry Potter. And that, of course, you know, Harry Potter been out like almost 20 years. Like, I mean, come on now, Harry Potter really taking over. But the last one became the second grossest movie of all time. Like, billions and billions of dollars. And so Harry Potter is over, but it went out with a bang.
Right. So how much did it gross, you know?
I think it's like 1.5 billion worldwide. Yeah, it's the biggest movie of this year, the biggest Harry Potter of all time, and the second biggest movie of all time. That's how huge Harry Potter went out.
So you know what I wonder is how much of a cut does she get from it? What's her name? Rowling?
J.K. Rowling. She probably get boo-hoo. She's a billionaire.
I know definitely that. She was on Oprah about that, about being one of the wealthiest persons in the world or something like that.
And for that movie, I think she kept some of the right. That's why she became as rich as she did. You know, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that movie took her into another bracket, because I don't think they split the last one up into part 1, part 2. So he definitely went out with a bang. I wonder who him. Did y'all see him do anything else with that little boy named Daniel Radcliffe?
Never seen it.
You never seen Harry Potter? I mean, but you know about it though.
Yeah, I'm not only under a rock.
But that's what I'm saying. So do you think, what's your impact that you think that Harry Potter has had on modern society? I mean,
I don't have any thoughts about that. I don't have any thoughts about Harry Potter, these werewolves and vampires.
Twilight.
That's Twilight. Yeah, no vampires in Harry Potter.
No, I'm saying that any of it, sorcery,
fantasy, like fantasy books.
Yeah, I've never read any of the books. I've never seen the movie, so I really don't have anything substantial, I think, to offer.
What do you think his Harry Potter? So y'all Harry Potter impact on modern society?
I guess I'm kind of like a real. I don't know. I haven't seen any one of their movies wholly all the way through. I've seen bits and pieces, and I kept telling myself I need to see at least one of them all the way through, because I'm into that kind of stuff, that kind of like fantasy like movie thing. I did enjoy Twilight in particular. I'm sorry, I might be jumping. So I like that kind of stuff, but I haven't seen one all the way through, so I don't know what the impact is on our society, or modern society.
Well, I think for me, I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan either. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've seen maybe the first 2, but I'm not going to see 12 3-hour-long movies. It's not, after the third one, I'm about done. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, it went on too long. I mean, some people have grew up with Harry Potter. They don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's been out that long. It's been 12 years since the first Harry Potter, so that's a long time for such a long book to become this huge, create that spin-off. But okay, of course, only one reality show made the list, and a musical show, and that's The Voice, coming in number 3 of who gave it this year. Did anybody watch The Voice? Or anybody kept up with The Voice, heard about The Voice, Christina Aguilera will come back? The Voice.
You haven't seen it either?
I mean, what you heard of.
I've heard of it. I have heard of it.
But that was like the biggest musical reality show this year. It kind of took, X Factor was supposed to be the biggest thing, but The Voice came out during the summer, and it took the momentum from what X Factor was supposed to be. Because, X Factor, the first show to get a $5 million contract, that's a huge thing.
First show?
Wow. Musical show.
Oh, okay.
$5 million. First record deal. $5 million record.
Wow.
Reality show is like unheard of. American Idol only give you about $1 million. Yeah. So $5 million for the X Factor was supposed to be this huge show. We all know it's kind of like everybody watching, but it ain't took over like American Idol did in this case.
I've never seen X Factor.
You like X Factor better than American Idol?
Why? Because I haven't seen enough of it to know what the difference is.
I mean, because it's any age group. It's like, you know, American Idol, they kind of. But X Factor is like, ooh, it's so touching. It was touching last.
Yeah, when the little girl got voted off.
She
I
just
heard about that.
she had a funeral.
But
And Paula said some encouraging words to her and everything.
I think that's what makes X Factor what it is. They really doing everything they can to be emotional. Like when I watch it, it seems so staged. Like amongst the judges, it's like first of all you got L.A. Reid right here and Simon right here. Then first of all the judges have their groups, so they going against each other because it's like, well, my people I picked are better than the people you picked. And you don't know what you're talking about. I produced Rihanna, I produced Leona Lewis, and I Paula Abdul, whatever I say goes. And then you got Nicole. Sure, nobody know her last.
But they have
Nicole Scherzinger. She serves it as a pussycat doll.
She did.
I live for her.
Oh, is that what she was?
Yeah, she was a lead singer. But
Oh, is that right?
I feel like the show, it's a lot of people like it, but I feel like they fetching for, like you
But
said,
you know what?
emotional.
And it's amazing how every week they vote one out, but it's like they're gonna have an album. They're gonna have an album. I mean, but American Idol's like, even the winner, you like, where is so and so that won American Idol? But the X Factor has the talent that is like amazing.
So how was Simon then on the show?
He was saying a little toned down because he has if the show is already so much like the stage, they got lights and glitter coming down, they got backup dancers. It's very theatrical. It's like a really huge production.
So is he as nasty on X Factor as he was on
I don't
American
think
Idol?
no, he's not as critical.
I'm glad. I don't like that. I mean, I know that I had a friend
But
of
he's
mine.
that in a good way.
That's what I hear people say.
He is.
I don't like it. I don't like being a person being nasty. I feel like
That's
that's
not
a
that what you
way.
need, because when you get out there, we can be as critical.
Well, you know, it's a way you can say it though. That was my issue with him.
Where was ratings?
That's what I was thinking. But then other people say that's just how he is naturally, and I'm like, okay, but that's how he is naturally. I don't like it. I mean,
Oh, he was mad when that little girl went home.
Yeah.
Oh, he was hot.
Oh, is that
You
right?
saw it all over his face.
So, well, if that's the case, then who said voted her off?
America.
Oh.
Because Nicole Scherzinger, whatever her last Scherzinger, she didn't cook. what it is if they can't, and unanimously come up with the person they want to go home, they just leave it up to America. So she was the deciding vote, and she said I couldn't do it, and they left it up to America. And so they said she had sung her heart out, and the black guy that was up there didn't do as well at all. And he stayed. But this is what I've heard. He's very mediocre to me, but he can sing though. I like him.
When it's on the line, he brings it.
Yeah, he
He's
sings
been on the
a lot.
line last 3 weeks, and he brought it.
How old is he?
21, I think.
He's young.
And the girl that they voted off was what, 14, 12?
Yeah, 12, I think.
Is that right?
She can really sing. What did she sing?
Is that right?
She can
She
sing.
sung some older song.
Now, honestly speaking, I mean, really, really honestly, amongst the three of us, or four of us rather, does she sound better than me?
Neither of us.
So moving on to number 2. Okay, our final 2.
Wow.
Who gave it for 2011? It's coming down to music. So Katy Perry comes in at number 2. And if y'all don't know about Katy Perry, if you don't know, she tied Michael Jackson's record this year for 6 #1 singles off one album. She got an honorary Billboard Award. She got an honorary American Music Award as the biggest no female has ever done it. And Michael Jackson's the only person that's done it. And she still might get a 7th #1 single. So she broke so many records this year. And my thing with Katy Perry, she done this, broke all these records, but she's still not Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? She don't get the credit for her success.
Right,
I think
right.
for her to have 6 #1 singles and an album, so that means you have to compare it to what Thriller did. But Thriller sold 25 million records, became the biggest,
Right.
culture album of all time, and she did it. And it's like, who Katy Perry?
Right, because see, I don't know who she is.
Well, I think what's much more significant about previous records is how it was done simply through the grind.
But
I don't know how
what's
many
the
of you
grind,
saw.
though?
Listen, I don't know how many of you saw Sylvester's Unsung.
I
And one of the phenomenal things about Sylvester is that he sold millions of these albums, and there was no iTunes, there was no MP3, there was no downloading, there was no file sharing, there was no MTV, VH, there was nothing to help promote this other than I get out here on the grind and I sing. And just by virtual word of mouth, these things move through cultures. And I think that could very well be said of Michael Jackson and his Thriller and all of that, is that it really predates. We didn't know, I don't care what they say, video may have killed the radio star was the